by step. Yeah, it's that time of the year, if the weather would ever change, where people are probably starting to think of getting away for a week or for a long weekend, or that sort of thing. And there is a question: well, what happens to your fish? Who's going to feed them? And you might well have a neighbour or family member that is going to do a really good job for you and is going to come every day and do that role for you, if you like. So, but if you don't, and you don't want to keep bothering people because you go away quite a lot, this video is about auto feeders, which is, as it says, an automatic way of feeding your fish while you're away, in effect. I certainly wouldn't, I think most people enjoy feeding their fish, so I don't think it's something that you would have as a sort of a normal thing. So I'm just going to tell you about one product, really. There are so many products that are auto feeders available, and you'll need to look into them, but they vary in price from, say, around about £15 for the really sort of cheap ones, right through to the best part £70 and more for the more expensive ones. So this one is a sort of a mid-price, we'll say. It's around about £35, which is a lot of money, really, for something to feed, to feed a fish. So what are they? Right, okay. I'm going to get this one out of the box. I'll pretend I haven't seen it before, but I've been using it. So that is what they look like. You basically get that. You get a load of instructions, sort of guidance in there, and this is made by Uazi. I had to look that up on the internet to work out how to say it. So it's a German product. I think it's made in Italy. So this is, in this case, it's an automatic feeder that is either battery powered or can be run off the mains through here. It doesn't come with a mains plug, so you'd have to get that if you want to. I find it quite funny because one of the promotional things about these, or this one, is the fact it uses batteries. So if your electricity failed, don't worry. This is going to carry on. And to be honest, if my electricity failed, I think feeding fish is probably the last thing on my list of importance. Water temperature, oxygenation of water, feeding, maybe in that sort of order. So, but anyway, so this one takes 4 AA batteries. So, and I think AA batteries are probably going to last you the best part of a year. So that's all it takes. Why did I choose this one? As I said, there are lots of products on the market, and you're probably aware, especially with a heated tank, that the environment around a heated tank, the air, if you like, is quite moist, and you've got to be careful about having something that's literally perched over the edge of your tank containing fish food, because there's a lot of moisture around coming out of that aquarium. This one is sealed, so it has a special edge around here that actually keeps the inside, the content, the food, fairly dry. So that's, the last thing you'd want is it getting too moist and clogging up. So how does it work? Well, okay. So inside it, there's a container for putting your food in. So you fill this up, and it takes a lot of food, to be quite honest. And I mean, really, they're sort of best designed for pellets, for small, micro-pellets, and I'm sure a lot of people are using that. You can use flake on them, but the recommendation is, if you are using flake, and depending on the size of it, that you should crush the flake before you put it into here to make sure it doesn't, sort of foul up. So let me just talk you through how this works. So at the back of here, there's an ability to program the feeder to do exactly what you want it to do. Okay, so it will automatically feed your fish up to 4 times a day. So you've got a choice between once a day right through to 4 times a day. So that's the first thing. Then you can also program how many rations each feed will provide, and the rations are from 0 through to 3 rations. So what will happen is, when it comes to the set time, if you have 1 ration, it will feed just 1 portion of food. If you have it set for, say, 3 portions or rations, it will feed 3 lots each time it does the feed. So automatically, when you get them, they already have a default setting, which is feeding twice a day, and those default setting times are 8 o'clock in the morning and about 6 o'clock in the evening as well. But you can completely adjust all those. The other thing you can adjust is the quantity of food. There's a sliding scale here. I counted them. There's 14 little clicky things on there, and so you set the amount of food you want to feed for each ration. Okay. It comes with some little rubber feet that you can put on the bottom of here, and once that's down, that does not move really. Now they also do a bracket, which is an optional, which allows something to slide in and like a bracket, but I can't really think, unless it works on something like a biOrb Classic or something like that, I'm not really sure if the bracket feature would actually work on any biOrb. You know, it's I think it's meant really for an aquarium that's got an edge, so you can clamp it on like that. I have been thinking about what this will work on, because I don't think it's going to work as it is on every biOrb style. If you have a flat top biOrb, okay, so something like this here, where you've got a nice flat top and a reasonable space all the way around the lid that you lift off, yes. If you have a cube, yes, it's going to work on a cube. Is it going to work on a life? It will work on a life. On a 30-litre life, you might need to put in something, and I'll talk about that a bit later on. So when it comes to the round biOrbs, I think I'm not sure. I mean, you'd have to invent something. Is all I'm going to say. You're going to have to make some kind of a ledge or something to hold it just over the top of the biOrb. So it's certainly suited for, as I said, for flat top sort of biOrbs. Okay, so the batteries go in underneath in this compartment here. So I have 4 batteries in there. I've actually been testing this for a week. So there's 4 batteries. I have been testing this for a week on one of my aquariums, and it's worked faultlessly. To be honest, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. I've only had it set on 1 feed a day, because I think the amount it dispenses in 1 feed, even with the smallest setting on here, is enough for what I want to see going into that aquarium. So and you can totally adjust everything. You can adjust, as I said, you can feed up to 4 times a day, and you can set the time for each of those feeds. Okay, so it's got a clock on there, and then you set what time you want to feed the fish. So my 1 feed a day, it's been feeding for a week at 7 o'clock in the morning, so it feeds the aquarium at 7 o'clock, and that's it. And then it won't feed till the next day at 7 o'clock. There. Okay, so how do they work? Right, okay. So you have a container, and I'm going to use some food I use quite a lot actually. This is the Hikari micro-pellets. So these, and I think these are ideal for this sort of thing. And you feed it into the drum. Like this. Now that's a lot of food, because these last for a long time. So that to me is a lot of food in there. So that's all I'm going to put in. It actually state on the box or in the instructions how much it holds, and it says 125 centimetre cubed, which I have no idea what that is. As a rough guess, I'm going to say it will hold about 30 grams of food, is what I'm going to suggest. But that there, I mean, it is loads, you know, that. If you went away for a week, that is more than you need, to be honest. So that's how you do it, and then once that's in, you put the lid on like that, and then, as I said, you have to. This setting here varies the quantity on each feed. So this is set on the lowest number at the moment, and it goes right up. And I'll show you the difference between a low feed, a medium, and a large in terms of the quantities. So this just goes back onto here like this. Oops, it says putting it on the wrong way around. There, and that's it. And that goes onto the top of your aquarium. Now, it has a button that allows you to auto feed whenever you like. If you want to feed, there's a button and you press it like that, and this is what it does. It's quite slow. It's a bit like a coffee maker. And it turns around and it goes back in again. And then once it gets back in, because of the seal around the edge, it seals the contents from moisture. So it's just fed that, and that's on the lowest. That's the lowest setting. Okay, so as I said, I will show you now what the variations are. So that's the lowest setting. So I've just done 4 settings for and I put a 20p coin for size. So this one here is the lowest setting. So I would describe that as a light pinch. This one, as I said, it has clicks. So there are 14 different clicks. So this is the first click. This one is three clicks. So you can see that there is a difference, and that, you know, those sort of sizes there are sort of the quantities I'll be looking at. A mid setting is going to give you this sort of feed, which I think on most biOrbs, unless you have the sort of 105 litre and loads of other fish inside, you know, that's the sort of the middle setting. And this one here is when you maybe want to feed the North Sea or something like that. but that's a lot of food, and you can with the ration setting, each feed you could do 3 amounts of these quantities in each cycle. So in one feed you could feed 3 lots of that, or 3 lots of that, if that makes sense. So there you go. I'll put it onto the 2 biOrbs I have, so you can actually see you know, what it looks like. Before I show you on a biOrb, you know, what it looks like, I know the intro has that, but if you're going to use it on certain biOrbs, as I said, you're probably going to have to create some kind of ledge for it. Now, a good thing, what you could get is something along the lines of this, and these are very sturdy. And this is what's called an egg crate for coral reef, for frags. And even I had to look up what a frag was, but basically, it's if you have a coral reef and you want to grow coral, you buy small coral, and they're called frags, because frag is short for fragment. So yeah, it's a whole new world for me. But anyway, these are ideal. You know, they're an ideal thing. I wouldn't go for something solid, because as I said, there is a lot of moisture comes up from the biorb, from the water. It is quite surprising how much sort of moisture comes up. So on some tanks, you would certainly need to put this as a ledge, if you like, as a shelf. On something like this biorb over my shoulder, you wouldn't need to use one of those. So, okay, I'm going to show you what it looks like on my flow, and you can see what it looks like there. And this is how it looks when it's sat on a 30 litre flow. It's almost like a 30 litre flow has been very much designed for it. That does not move with these feet underneath. I've used this ledge that I talked about, really just to hold, rather than just leave this just sort of like that. Looks tidier. I'm happier with that. So and it'll come out, turn around, and feed the fish through that gap in there. So that works perfectly with a flow setup. As I said, a flat top biorb. Okay, so on a life, which is a 30 litre life, this aquarium here, I'm having to use a ledge. So again, rather than a solid ledge, I'm using something that's ventilated by using this, and then that will come out and basically feed within this area here. Without the ledge, it's just not going to stay on. It's as simple as that, really. So you are going to, if you want to have an auto feeder and use it for, you know, for long weekends away and things like that, that is sort of what you're going to need to do for something like a life 30 litre. Yeah, so there you go. So this is the Oazi. It's called a fish guard, which is the most ridiculous name for something. It's not. It's an automatic fish feeder. Fish guard, strange name for a product that feeds fish. So I mean, I've been trying that for a week and I've had no problems with it. It's made by Oazi, who, if you don't know, are the people that make biOrbs as well. So so that's their product. As I said, have a look around. I wouldn't go cheap on it though, because it's the sort of thing you don't want to get wrong when you're away. So if you haven't thought about, oh, I've forgotten about that. Oh, how are we going to go away? Because now we've got to feed fish and all this sort of stuff. So if you want a solution for feeding fish while you're away for your long weekend or for your week or whatever that might be, this is the product that you need to get. As I said, you probably would need to get one of these, something along the lines of this. It doesn't have to be one of these, but so a frag shelf you can get off eBay, and these are, for a panel, it's about £2.50. Okay, so these are about £35. One of these, £2.50. Yeah, I'll put a link into what you need to search for on eBay or wherever to find them. And that's it, an automatic fish feeder. And I will be using it because I do like to go away for the weekend. I can't be a slave to the fish all the time. So yeah, long weekends, a week away, camping or whatever. This is what I'll be using, and one for each tank as well. So yeah, one for each aquarium. So there you go. I hope you found that useful. For some people, they're fine. They've got really good family next door or neighbours next door, and it's not a problem. Having the fish sort of fed. But if that's what you need to do, then that's the way to do it. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching it. I hope you found it interesting. Thank you if you're a subscriber. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And I will see you on the next video. Okay, so take care. Bye.